Could you count for me?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Okay, I gotta redo my audio here. Hold on a second. What about now?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Motherfucker.
Hey, so look at me. Turn it off and reboot it. Reboot the just log out.
I should be able to do this. Oh, maybe that's it. What about now?
I can hear you clear. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
There we go, man.
How's it going?
Good, man. McCrae, brother. How you been, bro?
I've been good. How about you?
Life, bro. Life on life's terms.
Yep, absolutely.
It's been so long. I appreciate you being on the Healthy Mental Pod. I know you had reservations. Yeah, dude. Don't we all, man? The title's more scary than what it actually is, dude. We're just, I'm making this up as we go, man.
Mm-hmm.
I think the last time I saw you, we took that brief road trip from Temecula up into downtown LA so I could drop you off at Judd's.
Yeah, that was that had to have been 10 years ago. I'm almost positive.
Yeah, like my daughter's turning 13, so she had to have been like 2 or 3. Yeah, so it was like 9-10 years ago, brother. It's been a long time.
Nuts. That's so wild.
I thought it was funny how the trip started out, and then you and I are driving, and you're teaching me how to use Waze app for the first time.
Yeah,
I've never seen that. You said, "Hey, bro, there's gonna be a cop up here. I have a faster way." I'm like, "What? You magician!"
That's right. That's so funny. Yep.
I'm glad we were able to reconnect and stuff like that. It's kind of crazy. I kind of went into hiding after doing all that Big Brother stuff just because it's, and you understand it, man. It's cool. It's cool at first, especially when we're in our 20s, man.
Yep.
It's awesome, man. It's like, it gives us everything that we need kind of in a weird way.
Yep.
But then as you get into your 30s, as you start to kind of like settle down, I know you're engaged now and you're getting ready to start a family, basically.
Yep.
Yeah, dude. It's just it gets a little draining. It gets a little weird at times, right?
Yeah, playing the game of like, everyone's trying to be out there and put themselves out there and like look at me, like the constant looking for attention. Yes, I'm over it also. It was fun while it lasted, and yes, there's a time that you just have to be like, all right, gotta stop being crazy and stop doing all this stuff. It was very fun for sure, but you're right. I think it's sad for some other people. I think that don't realize that and don't get it. They don't want to put it away, but I don't know. It's one of those things that you just have to, we're growing up.
When you're in your 20s, it's easy to sit there and hear, oh, I could be famous or something could come of this. And then you run around the house and you try and play up to that. You try and give everybody a little bit of something that they want. Like after like the first week or two you're in there and you get the schedule down and stuff like that. You see everybody running around trying to sell themselves. And granted, I'm going to talk about both of our seasons because they're almost polar opposites, and I can give people insight to that. But yeah, polar opposites, and I just felt like it was just I was on like the theater season where everybody was ex or former like childhood something at one point. Yeah, and everybody had some sort of like acting ability on our season for the most part, minus Donnie and Jocasta and stuff like that, and Derek. Yeah. But everybody had some sort of theater stuff, and I got so sick of it. I was just like, man, dude, like everybody's trying to sell themselves. And I just wanted, when it was all done, I wanted to get back to like some normalcy. And just to give a little bit of background, McCrae's season, I jokingly call you guys the blacklisted season. Yeah. Because McCrae, talk to us about your casting, what that was like going into 15, because you were a super fan. You were an actual fan of the show.
Yep.
Talk about going into the casting and then going into the season and how it was different from what you had expected.
So I was under the impression that my season was gonna be like an all-star season. They did all-stars on season 7, so 14 just happened. I was like, okay, well maybe they'll wait till 14's over and now they're gonna do a full all-stars. So when I went out to casting, I was under the impression that they were just doing it just to do it, like maybe just to collect names or something like that. So the whole time I basically was like, I'm not gonna get on the show. There's no way. And then, I mean, stuff just kept on happening. I'm a weird looking person. And then, like I've got long hair. I don't look like the typical person that kind of does these shows back then, at least. So, like, I stood out in that kind of regard. And also, I was a super fan of the show. I love the show. And when I talked about, or when they're like, well, who's your favorite player? I wouldn't say the players that everyone likes, that everyone talks about. Brought up characters that were deep cuts. So yes, basically the whole time I just kept on being like, "There's no way they're gonna put me on the show. They don't put people like me on the show." And then, sure, they did. And so I didn't know what to expect. Once I got into that house, I was basically like, the other thing about it was I was an alternate, so I wasn't even supposed to be
Mm,
on. And then, like a week before, something happened, I guess, with my whoever I replaced, and so I got the ticket, which is amazing. So the whole time I'm basically on borrowed time when I'm there.
wow.
And so that's why I was just like, well, you only get one opportunity, and I shouldn't even have this opportunity. So I'm gonna just be a character. I'm gonna be crazy. Like I'm gonna give good TV, or. But I also noticed exactly what you're talking about of people that were like, I'm gonna like, oh, it's TV time. I know that this is my TV time. I know that like people like just looking for TV time, and to me, it's like that's so disingenuous. Like you have to make TV time. Like you can't just be like, I'm gonna pop in when everything, and I'm gonna do like I'm gonna say some crazy stuff. Like it's so phony, it just doesn't read well. And
Right.
then our season goes on to be like obviously just problematic is the easiest way to say it, I guess. But yeah, I don't know. It's one of those things where it's like it was a gift and a curse because it was a gift that I got to play my favorite game ever, and it's a curse because I got on the season that is blacklisted, basically. So it's one of those things where it's like, well, it was good to play, but yes, it's a bummer that my season had to be filled with scumbags.
Dude, I didn't realize you were an alternate. We probably talked about this plenty of times, but I didn't realize it doesn't. I mean, God, you don't see. Okay, let me just put it this way. No shade. Hayden was the alternate from our season that ended up replacing what's the big dude that came in the next season, the wrestler
Oh,
Austin.
Austin. Yeah, Austin.
So Austin was supposed to be on our season. He pulled
Yeah,
out in the hotel because his girlfriend said, "If you go on the show, we're done."
right, that's right.
And so then they put Hayden in. So Hayden to me is like the ultimate alternate, right?
Yep,
Doesn't play the game, just kind of hangs around, floats a
yep.
little bit. You didn't strike me as an alternate
No,
whatsoever, bro.
no. Yes, yes. No, I was there to play.
Right.
I'm gonna take a shot at this. Like I'm gonna play crazy. Of course, there's always like the ifs and buts or candies and nuts. Oh, what a Merry Christmas we would have had. But I mean, yeah, there's plenty of things that's like, I should have did this or should have did that.
Yeah.
But it's crazy that we got a chance to compete for that much money, really.
For sure. Yeah, no, I mean it's awesome, man. And you see the money, how it's going up now even more. Is there anybody from your season that you still stay in contact with? Do you still have that relationship with Spencer? I know you guys were close for a bit. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, I talked to Spencer basically. It's not as much every day now just because we are super busy in our lives. But I mean,
Right.
we chat like once in a week or, something like that. But we stay very much in contact. Like if depending on what my wedding plans are, like he'll probably come up for the wedding. Or, like
Nice, nice.
yeah, yes, we're very, very close. Spencer's a great dude. Gets a bad rap, but he's got a good heart. I like him a lot.
Yeah, no, and we won't get into all the bad stuff because yeah, it's such a won't laugh either.
I was one of the youngest on my season. I was like the second youngest. And I was always like, because I had seen the show, because I'd watched live feeds, I was constantly telling my cast, do not say this stuff. You are going to get in trouble. It is going to
Right,
be bad out there. I knew what was going to happen. I saw it coming. I didn't
right.
realize how bad it was going to be,
Yeah.
but I told them. And like me knowing who I am now, like I wouldn't take the advice of some little kid. Or, if I was in the house now, I'd be like, shut up, nerd. Like, I'm gonna say whatever I want. Like I'm a grown up.
Yeah.
But it's one of those things where it's like, oh man, I told them all, you idiots. Like, do
Well,
not say this.
it's crazy when because I've shown my wife. My wife obviously she never watched Big Brother. She's not a Big Brother person. She's not a reality TV person. But she asked all these questions. Why do they say you're so polarizing? I'm like, I have no idea why. I was the big dude on the episode that didn't know the game.
Yeah.
But I laugh and so then I'm like, hey, look at season 15. I got to explain some things to her. I was like, when we were going into casting, they literally gave us every DVD season that you could imagine in Sequester, and they didn't have 15. And then all of a sudden, so this is how they did us, McCrae.
Yeah.
At least this is how they did me. So they go, yeah, you need to get through at least one season of Big Brother, then we'll give you regular DVDs. And I was like, well, I don't know the game very well. I might as well watch all the seasons I can.
Yeah.
So I ran through seasons. I don't know how I did. And I was like going through them, asking production to bring me more.
Yeah.
And so they finally said, all right, we're going to give you this DVD. And it's the last one. We want you to watch it. And we want you to watch it and know these are all the things you don't do. And it was season 15. It was season 15. Bro,
Incredible.
me being in Sequester, now I'm going to be real. I'm very honest about this. Bro, I was hopped up on so many steroids. I was hopped up on Vyvanse.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't realize that that's what I was on during the show, is that I would go in there in the morning and they would give me 70 milligrams of max dose of Vyvanse. So I'm going through there all day, like in the morning. Yeah, and that's why I'm talking so much. And then all of a sudden the come down would come around PM.
Yeah.
And then you would see a completely different Devin, like I'm gritting my teeth. It's just it's just really bad. I remember them finding my steroids. I was trying to sneak in and all this stuff.
Incredible.
And so when I'm in there, bro, I'm watching 15. And granted, dude, steroids make you a different person. They make you all emotional. I'm watching 15 and I'm like getting choked up. I'm like, oh my God, man. And what blew my mind when I'm showing the episodes back to my wife years later is that she goes, wait, was she sitting there waiting for all of them with like basically transcripts of what they said? Yeah, she was. When you watch that back as a super fan and you're seeing Aaron and Julie's holding the transcript of what she said, and then she's doing it with everybody else. And then you have a showmance with Amanda.
Yeah. Yeah. Crazy.
Bro, when I look back on it, I found it very comical.
Yeah.
Knowing you guys in person, because I've had moments with all of you guys roughly.
Totally.
What was that like when you played back your season and you saw everything coming to fruition, where you're just like, oh, God, here it comes?
It's like a train wreck. It's definitely a train wreck. The problem with my season is like I genuinely like it as a season, and I think like I don't know if I'm biased because I was on it, obviously, but the thing about it is like I like train wreck seasons. I like seasons that were like that you want to keep watching, you want to look away. That feeling is great. I think that's what reality TV really is like a train wreck feeling. And I think that my season captures that perfectly. It's rough at the end when like I know my demise is coming. Like it's tough to watch that stuff. It's tough to watch the other stuff too. Like, but to me, one, I think it encapsulates the moment of like, we're kind of on the downswing of all the like, I guess I don't want to say like woke, like it, I just it's like the beginning of like people being very on edge about like everything they say and stuff like that. The season or like the summer, the beginning of that year was like she's that I can't remember what her name is, but she's like a cook or she's like a baker, and then she got in trouble because she was saying the N-word and stuff like that. So like it was kind of on the tips of everyone's tongue of just like you cannot be like, and so then my season went into that and led into that, and I think like my season kind of begins like this whole like war, or like it begins people like talking about this and like having like serious discussions about like what's acceptable, why are we talking like the way we do, stuff like that. So I think like in a way like it's horrible that the stuff that was said and the things that happened, but Big Brother is beautiful because it encapsulates a time period. Like we're going back, I'm watching it, I'm watching Big Brother on Twitch with like a bunch of people that have never seen Big Brother before. And so we're going back. We went to like season 2, we went to season 6, we're doing season 7 now. And like season 7 takes place in like what, 2006, and then the one before that 2005. But like it's a encapsulation of a time period, like there's a guy named Kaser who's on the show, and Kaser is like the first Arab American Iraqi on TV post 9/11, post the Iraq war. And so like it's one of those things where it's like in the moment when it happened it was crazy, but it's awesome to go back and look now and be like, okay, so that's kind of what was going on in America. Big Brother is beautiful that way, and as much as it sucks that like I'm a part of that, it's also cool to be a part of that. I guess it's weird, very bizarre.
Sure. No, and it's a very iconic season. I joke around and say the blacklisted season, but dude, you were season 15 was the last season of that true reality dynamic. It really was, because
Yep.
then let's transition into 16, dude. It was the Care Bear, happy go lucky. Bro, I got painted as the villain, dude. And all I was doing was I was just playing the game super, super hard, bro. And I
Yep.
got painted as like the evil being of the
Yep.
house. And it's like, if that's what reality TV turned into, man, I'm sorry, dude. Like, that sucks.
100%. And you guys were the first, victims of like the change of everything. And like you especially, I mean, like because that's it, where it's like if you were on our season, you would have been the hero, like that's
Kind
basically
of.
how yes, would have went. I fate,
Kind of, yeah. It was wild, man. So just to put it into perspective, we were told indirectly not to associate with you guys come post the show. I think I was one of the only and first that was outspokenly like hanging out with you guys, talking to you guys, doing all that stuff.
Yep.
They wanted us to clear interviews and things like that. I remember I got in a lot of trouble after I did our interview, and I'm like, I don't care, man. When our finale came, we all flew in. You guys were in town, and I was over there hanging out with you guys, and it was wild to spend time with you guys. Like no cameras rolling or anything like that. It was really
Yep.
cool. I think you guys were in that condo off of Hollywood Boulevard, and for the first time, what's the dude's name with the Cherokee tattoos across his chest?
Jeremy.
A little side story, I guess.
Yeah.
For the first time, everyone assumed I was just ginormous on Big Brother. Like I was like some monster, some huge monster, right?
Yeah.
And I don't know if it was angles or what. When I go to hang out with you guys, Jeremy's standing there in front of me, and the dude is a monster. God, he's huge,
Big boy.
bro. And he's at this point in time, I don't know what his dietary regimen was, but he was huge.
Yep.
And he was talking to me, half like buzzed about doing some charity boxing match. And oh, it'd be great. We could raise a lot of money. And I'm looking at him like, bro, I'm not fighting you.
Yep.
You're out of your mind. You're huge.
Shit.
And I just remember just kind of settled in back then. It was just like, bro, like we're all just people, dude. We're all trying to do our thing. And what kind of threw me was so all you guys that got bad raps are amazing people. You didn't get a bad rap, but like other guys, other people on your show that got bad raps are actually amazing people.
Yeah.
But the people that played victim on your show were really the people that really were not the most
bad people. Yes.
Yeah. I remember a girl from your season, can't remember her name. We'll never remember her name, unfortunately. But there was a girl on your season that came to me after Big Brother and wanted to pitch a fake relationship just so she could get on Amazing Race with me. And she knew I was going through casting a couple times with Race, and that's what she wanted to do. And basically, when I had told her no, we're at her apartment, and basically she goes, well, do you need it? She drove me over to her place, pitched this whole idea. When I was like, had reservations, she's like, do you want a cab home or something? And cabbed me home. And I was just like, what the? So yeah, dude, it was super interesting. The seasons are crazy, bro. But let's talk about all the amazing things that you were able to do post Big Brother, man. I know you did a lot of charity events, and a lot of people think these charity events are just for us to go around and be our reality selves and things like that. But there's a lot of good that's been with Michelle's Place and a few other things. Talk about some of the amazing, cool things that you got to do, man.
Yeah, Michelle's Place was definitely one. That was the Temecula one, right?
Right.
Yes, these are amazing, like charities, and these are amazing things. The other thing is that it's like a way for me and Spencer to be at the same place. Like we don't get that. He lives in Arkansas, so like it's a part of like, oh, it's amazing to like go hang out with people that you've had a similar experience with. They did a race in Temecula. There's Give Kids the World in Florida, which is like it's like this like village where terminally ill kids go and hang out, and it's like this crazy, like it's all done up really special, just like it's like a different weird little town. And then like those kids end up going to Disney World and stuff like that, but like you go and you dress up like a pirate one night, and like you're basically just like giving kids like some smiles basically.
Yeah.
But it's soul crushing because like it's terminal kids. Like it is the most like crushing thing in the world. But it's one of those things where it's just like, again, like there's so much bad that comes with Big Brother, but it's tough to remember the good that comes with it. And like that was one of the good things of like going there and raising a bunch of money for these kids and then going to see them and putting a smile on their face, being goofy. Yes, it crushes me thinking about it. There's like different charities all over. To be honest, I'm still doing charity based things in Minnesota here. There's
awesome.
It's called the Charity Trials, where basically people are raising money for their individual, it's like random people. They raise money individually for their own individual charities. They take all that money, they pool it up, and then they take a bunch of these people and put them out into the woods, and they play like Survivor basically in the woods. And so
Yeah.
then, like, depending on your boot order, is how much money you get from the pot that goes to your charity. So it's like kind of a cool little twist on a charity that people also get to play Survivor out in the woods. And so like I've played a couple times, and then I've usually I film now. I do
Oh,
production. So
nice.
like I'm
Nice.
filming like the tribal councils and stuff like that. Everyone check it out if you want to play Midwest Charity Trials, something like that. Yeah, I don't remember.
That's awesome, man. Yeah, those are some of the cool things that I remember. I didn't do too many.
Mhm.
I didn't do too many just because I think I did the Temecula one with you, and I did one other, not with you, but something else. And they were great, man. I love
Yep.
the cause. I love what it's for. I just had a really bad experience. I think a lot of people are still expecting you to show up and be your character from your season and things
Totally.
like that.
Totally.
And then it was really easy to see the people that wanted to stay in character.
Yep.
And that's cool, man. And maybe that's what led a lot of them to their reoccurring situations on Big Brother and stuff.
Yep. Totally.
But it just wasn't for me. And I more so wanted to kind of like hang out with you guys and things. And
There's
it was
a
just
dark side to these events also, like there, as much as good as there is, there's also this weird underbelly that's dark and seedy. I always think about it where it's like a lot of these people, like the people that put on the charities, sometimes I wonder, like, are you putting this charity on for charity's sake, or are you doing it to meet your favorite Survivor player? Like
right.
that is always what crosses my mind, and it creeps me out.
Well, and the weird part, well, the really weird part about going to that Temecula one was when you do the initial meet and greet in the lobby kind of thing, and you see all the Survivor cast just hanging out with each other, and they don't give up about who you are. That's just totally fine. You shouldn't. Like, you guys are your thing. But when people were coming up to me and be like, "Hi, I'm Dave from Survivor season 7." I'm like, "Bro, I'm Devin from Life. How you
From
doing?"
human, yeah.
Yeah. How you doing, bro? And I think on that charity, bro, didn't somebody try and break into your guys' room at night while you were in it?
There was a lot of craziness that happened in that one. There was, yes, yes.
Anyways, but we'll move from that, Doug. So, you know what? I thought about something, dude. While we're sitting here, I have actually seen you since that Temecula ride. Yeah, we actually had like a whole day together. Because thank you CBS when we did. Yeah,
20 was it that? Yeah, or
yeah.
yeah, Big Brother 20.
Yeah, you and I were just caking up on the wall, just having good, genuine conversation while
Yep.
it was an awkward room. It was just very awkward.
Yes.
I didn't
Super
know
awkward.
everybody. That's when I met Kaser for the first time, and
Yep.
Kaser lays it out perfectly. He goes, "I don't know who any of these people are. I'm just trying to be here and get the hell out."
Yeah. Yeah.
Which is cool.
So
I
fun.
love that, man.
Right.
I think it was somebody from season 10 that was hiding their cell phone in their crotch and taking pictures.
I don't remember.
It was Chef Joe. Is it Chef Joe? Yeah. So that's how you and I was wondering. So a picture surfaced of you and I in the green room, and it was a cool picture. We're chilling on the wall, having good convo.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden I'm like, how did that picture come out? And then I find out from Chef Joe, he had taken it from his crotch. He undid his zipper and just snapped photos from his crotch. Yeah, bro.
Yeah.
Did you ever think the rumor back then? I don't know if you remember. The rumor back then was we were all called for the reunion because we were all going to play and they were going to pull us out of the audience.
Man, that'd be amazing.
I thought that's what we were. I'm not going to lie, dude.
Yeah.
I genuinely thought that was a possibility. That was something that went through my mind. Not that I was going to get picked, but I thought that would have been cool to see all you guys, because they had the core players there for the most part.
There was a lot of like old schoolers. It was fucking such a, yes. There was one person from every season at least, Yeah, it was that was awesome. The reason that I did not think that is because they did not pay for my flight. They were like,
right.
if you can be here, you can be in the audience or whatever, like we'll make it special. But so like I had to fucking scrounge up some dollars, which was
Right.
annoying, but on like in the end, I met like Chicken George from season 7 and season 1. Like I met some of the fucking old school people that I loved. So that was like worth it by itself for me being a super fan. And like you said, like it's crazy that I get the opportunity to like hang out with like all these old school players and stuff like that. But it's even crazier that they respect me and that I'm not like a fan. Like as soon as you meet a fan, you're like, this is a fan or whatever. Like I personally treat them differently and I'm sorry or whatever. But like in my head, I can't not do that. But I get to like get in there and I get to bullshit. I get to chop it up with everyone, and it's crazy that I get that opportunity. But like me and you would never know each other,
No.
like just like it's such a weird thing that we now, and like immediately we like mutual respect because it's like, oh, you went through the crazy thing that I went through. So like immediately I'm on your level. And then like it just goes from there. But yeah, I love being able to just like chop it up. I love just like talking life with like someone that I should not be talking to, really.
100%. I think that's the cool part. That's the big thing that I miss the most is I wish I wouldn't have cut myself off so hard from, my cast and all the other cast. And it was nothing that anybody did, bro. It was all me. And it was all me sitting there seeing myself and being like, bro, this is what I look like on TV. I need to do some work, dog. Like, it just facts, bro. There's no ifs, ands, or but. Like going on a TV show trying to be somebody that you're not for 28 days, bro, you're going to get found out
Impossible.
at some
Yep.
point. Yeah.
Yep.
It's impossible, dude. You can be the best trained actor in the world, bro. You're gonna get found out when there's cameras running full time.
Nonstop. Well, and that's basically like how my strategy of going into it was like, I'm just gonna be me. I'm not gonna like, I don't want to do that. That seems like I'm gonna have a break, basically. But it was one of those things where it's like, I was. It was a win-win for me, like going through the casting process and stuff like that, because I was just like, if they want me, they'll get me. Like that's fine, and I'm just gonna be a weirdo, and I'm gonna be myself. Like I'm not gonna put it. And then even when I got into the house, I was like, I'm not gonna be a lie guy. I'm not gonna be lying about everything. I'm not gonna be, I'm just gonna tell the truth all the time. So I'm never like, yes, I like smartly did that where I'm like, because yeah, otherwise I would have a break. Like
Right.
it's there. You're right. You cannot go through that and like keep up the walls. Like it dismantles you internally just as much as like it dismantles you externally, I guess. Like Big
Right.
Brother breaks you down. Like, and that's what the design of the game is. I mean, if we want to get into, I think that all reality television is exploitative. I think
Yeah.
it's bad. I think it's one of the things that in the future they might end up being like, we're not doing reality TV anymore because it's too alienating. It's too exploitative. There was a show called, or there was like a DVD series called Bum Fights back in
Oh
the
yeah,
day.
yeah.
Super exploitative, super gross, and like I think that reality television is like glorified bum fights, basically. Like you're fighting for like this like little scraps of money, and you're willing to like do anything. You're willing to like make yourself look like an idiot on TV, which is it's fine, but also like everyone needs to take a serious look and think about it. Like yes, it's bad. It's like gladiatorial fights. It's like gladiators, and in a gross way. I don't know. There's something there. I think that we'll have that conversation maybe in 10, 20 years, I think. But it's something I think about all the time. Like when I'm watching reality television now, sometimes I'm like, this person's not going to recover from this, or like the therapy bill on this person's going to be huge, like, and
Yeah.
they don't pay for that, which to me is
No.
like, that is the start of not making this exploitative, is basically being like, we're covering all therapy bills because we put you through the ringer, and like that's the purpose of the show. But it'd be nice if like CBS was there for you. I don't know, maybe they are for newer house guests now, but
Right.
the way that I saw it is they basically were like, all right, here you guys go after my season. And like we talked about, we're blacklisted and all this stuff, like everyone in the world hates us. They basically were like, yeah, run along. They left us to our own devices, and it wasn't good for a lot of people.
I don't know if production ever came over the top with you guys. Our season, I remember what's the head lady?
uh Man, Gar
Yeah,
I'm having a
whatever her name is, sorry.
thank yep,
Yeah, sorry.
Yes. I am
um
hungover. My brain hurts. Yeah.
No, you're good, bro. Yeah, anyways, so I remember her coming over the top right before live feeds go live, right after that first week, and her literally giving I think it was like 2 or 3 basically warnings, like, hey, what you do from this point on is on you guys. Remember, how you are seen is what you're going to be seen when you leave here.
Yep.
So be careful what you say. I don't know if they gave you any warnings like that. None. See?
No.
And that's all based upon what had happened the year before. But like, to even go back where you were talking about being yourself, that's the smartest move in the world. There's some things, obviously, if you're an undercover cop, Derek, like you got to keep that to yourself because you're just going to be a target right away. And yeah, I tried to run in there and overuse the daddy daughter stuff because I thought that would just melt people, right? And it didn't. But that was one
smart.
of my it was one of my game plans. That just sucked that I was in there with like 6 other parents, so that's not gonna work, dude. But I knew that I was SOL, bro, before going into the house, brother. I
Mhm,
knew I was stuck because when they do that press junket the morning of before you go in,
mhm.
or whatever day that is, a few days before that, they're running me down the hallway and you're hitting every interview and I'm saying the same thing in every interview. And I had a water bottle, and that water bottle was taking Vyvanse. I took like 6 capsules. So like, and I was dumping them into the water bottle
Yeah,
because I'm not a dude. I'm a hybrid extrovert introvert.
yeah,
I can't just turn it on. And
yep.
so I needed something to make sure that I was on.
Get in and out,
Eh,
yep.
Yeah. And when I'm halfway through those interviews and I'm saying the same thing to every reporter, and then I get to this one guy and he looks at me and he's just like, he gives me this look like, bro, you seriously just, you're full of shit. And I'm just like, well, next, I'm like, bro, I knew I was done. And yeah, going in there, playing yourself is the best thing that you can do. But what you said to a therapy, dude, that's huge as well. I just talked to somebody who's a very big Big Brother fan and covers Big Brother, and just had her on a pod. And yeah, we talked about the therapy stuff. And I remember having Dr. Selden or whoever the show doctor was talk to us afterwards. And the only question she asked me was, hey, are you doing okay? Yeah, I'm doing great. Hey, how serious is Amber's infatuation with or Caleb's infatuation with Amber? And I'm just like, okay. And
What?
that's all we
Yeah.
got. And in the whole time, McCrae, like, my season's still going. They asked me to be on Survivor. They asked me
Oh,
to be on Amazing Race, and I actually got casted on the couple season of Amazing Race. It was supposed to be
whoa.
me and Jackie. Yeah, yeah. And so I pulled out. Jeff was the alternate. So they stuck Jeff in there. My passport was actually getting passed around, getting the visa stamped on him. And midway through, I said, hey, man, I'm dating somebody now. I can't do this show. If you want me to be on the show, I got to be paid. That's literally that's, I knew they weren't
Oh,
going to
yeah.
do that. So,
Yep.
so I was just like, hey, you got
Give
to
an
pay me.
offer. Yep.
Yeah, and Lynn Spielman says, "Hey, if you're looking to be paid, we're not going to do that. So you're not going to be cast." And then they asked to cast Zach and I on a season of Amazing Race about a year later.
Oh, dang.
Yeah. So I always go back and I think, McCrae, I go, man, was that my shot to get back on the show? Because as you saw, Jackie
Mhm.
and Jeff were, and you know that was already made
Yep.
way beforehand.
Yep.
So I look at that and I'm just like, man, so all this stuff's going on where I wasn't myself, but yet you're still trying to cast me on a bunch of different stuff for your network.
Yep.
You're just doing it for the ratings because I'm a character, bro.
Yep. Totally.
So what to what you said, man, I think that that's amazing that you were able to go on and be yourself, because that helped my relationship with you. When I met you, I was just like, bro, this dude is the exact same dude on the show. He tells
Yep.
it like it is,
Yep.
and it is what it is, man. McCrae, I think there's opportunity for you in the future to do Big Brother again if that's so what you want to do, man. I know you laugh, but there's nobody else from your season, even your season's winner, who I can't remember who it is, but
Not worth saying his name.
yeah, yeah. Bro, you're the guy. You're the guy
Appreciate
that
that.
should, yeah, yeah, you're
I
the guy
appreciate
from
that.
your season, and it's truly a pleasure. Everybody that doesn't know McCrae is the same guy internally. He's such a good dude, man.
I appreciate that.
Of course, bro. McCrae, talk to us about what's going on now in life, bro. You've got told me you're doing your photography and everything like that. Talk to me. What's going on, bro?
I basically moved to this little small town with my girlfriend who works at the Mayo Clinic, if you know anything. Or yeah, big whatever. But yeah, so I walked in. I have this nice camera that Janelle from Big Brother actually paid for. Basically, I was doing a lot of
Nice.
videos with her, like we were doing real estate videos, and she was trying to do YouTube. So she funded a camera for me. So it's a nice camera, and I went into this little like newspaper like in this little town and basically was like, you guys need a photographer, and they're like, sure, go take pictures of prom. So now they're like sports photographer. She retired after like 40 years working at this newspaper as the photographer, and basically I was at the right place at the right time. They're like, all right, well, you're going to take over for her as the sports photographer. So now like I'm covering 4 different schools and I have to run all over the place, and now I'm on spring sports, so I'm on the like school schedule basically of like, oh, I'll have summer off kind of. I also do like I write for the paper, so I write like city council and
Nice.
school board stuff like that. It's excuse me, it's creatively fulfilling in some ways. I mean, other ways it's monotonous and terrible. But I get to go take pictures for a living, which is it's not a living really. I still need to do stuff, but yes,
Yeah.
taking pictures for, for it's great. I get paid to take pictures. You can't beat that. Or I get paid to write stuff. It's not, yes, not good money, but it's fun. Other than that, I've been, like I said, I was doing that. I stream with some guys. They have a stream. Nate and Dean do a stream on Twitch. Check it out. It's really fun. They also have a podcast that I produce. So I do a lot of like video production stuff, still editing, video editing, all that kind of good stuff. Yeah, it's a living, or like it's
Right.
it's hardly a living, but we're making it work.
No, I hear you, man. I'm doing freelance audio engineering for a label in a studio in LA
It's
and stuff
awesome.
like that. No, yeah, it's cool, man. But just
Yep.
like you, dude, if I'm not working, I'm not. And then my checks come every 90 days, bro,
Yep.
quarterly, from the
It's
label. So
rough. Yep.
yeah. So I'm completely out of the rumor mill, but I did hear that they just did the All Big Brother season of Amazing Race.
I did hear this. I know that this is happening. Yes. To me, I don't like we talked about how like my season kind of ended what used to be a version of Big Brother.
Yeah.
The new, like, this cast is all basically the new people from Big Brother.
Right.
And you could not tell me, like, your season maybe is the, like, I guess the season after yours with Austin, he's kind of a big character, but like there is no more characters on Big Brother. It's all the most watered down, like the edges off of everyone. Like it is the most
Right.
sanded down people. To me, I look at half of them, I'm like, I know I watched that season, but I couldn't tell you what your name is. I don't know. People will be like, "Oh, Tanisha did this," and I'm like, but is that a person on Big Brother? What are we talking about?" And I've basically tried to keep up with the show, and that's the crazy part to me, is that like we're getting to the point where I can't remember Big Brother players anymore, And when you go back and watch, like we watch these old seasons, it is such a stark difference of like you've got these massive characters. Everyone's a character, and everyone like I don't know. It's just everyone has edges, like not everyone is just like, even in life, not everyone is like perfect hero, perfect true being, but like on seasons now, that's how they like portray people. And it's outrageous to me because it's like, I want to have an arc. I want to have a story arc. I want to have someone that, was bad, becomes good, was good, becomes bad, that's a character, like people don't want that anymore. They want like, this is the hero guy and he's going to be good forever. And like, that is just not how a story works. And that's why I think, so when we're talking about All Stars, or when we're talking about Amazing Race, I'm just like, I don't know, like unless like something crazy happens, like something bad, I don't care really. Like I want to see a train wreck. I don't want to see like everyone's the good guys. That is not a show to me. And I'm also not big on Amazing Race.
100%.
It is what it is, but I don't know. Maybe I'll watch one episode. I'm just like looking for drama, and if they're not, I don't know.
I'm right there with you, dude. I grew up on Real World, Road Rules. I grew up when they were sending them to rehab for drinking too much, but keeping them on the show. I think the first Real World I saw was Real World Hawaii with Tech Money and Ruthie.
Hell yeah.
So it's like that's what I grew up on, and so obviously going into Big Brother, that's what I'm thinking. For my casting of Race, I'm gonna tell you how manipulative the whole production side of things is. It's hilarious. So the same casting company, same casting producer for Race is the same one for Survivor. So my season's still on. They fly me back to LA to do casting for Amazing Race. And they held true to everything they said. They said, "Hey, if you go on Big Brother, we'll get you on Amazing Race." So I was like, "All right, cool." So this is part of it. The only thing was I thought I wanted to do it with Adani, or I wanted to do it with somebody that I knew. I didn't want to go blindly because I knew that was going to be real bad. Yeah. And it's just like, bro, you're doing the same thing to me that you did on Big Brother. It's going to be the same thing. That's what you want. So when I go there, they basically tell me, they kept me in a completely different hotel. The castings, I can see the hotel for the casting. They'd come and get me and drag me over there. But they go, and this is back before I had really dove into rehab and other things like that. For a third and fourth time. But they take me over there and I'm drunk as a skunk, dude. I'm just drunk. So they tell me, they go, "Hey, Dev, we got all the footage we need of you. You're on the show. You're good to go. Let's start packing your stuff and we'll get you on the next flight out of here." I said, "Cool." So I order a bottle of wine. I chug the whole thing, bro. And all of a sudden, here comes Jesse Tannenbaum from CBS, an exec, and he goes, "Hey man, you ready?" I was like, "To go?" "Yeah, I'm ready to go." They go, No, we got to go get you on film one more time." And I'm drunk. I'm like, "Bro."
Wow.
And he actually called me on the phone. I go, "Jesse, man, I'm drunk, dude. What do you mean?" And he goes, "Whatever you do, stop drinking. Just stop drinking." So I'm like, "All right." So I stopped drinking. The
Yeah.
bottle's already gone. I had to. So they come and get me. They take me over there. Now I'm with the rest of the cast that's casting. And there was only a couple guys that actually made it on the show. But the whole time they take this, there's a girl sitting there and they're taking me in the elevator with the rest of the cast. Big Brother 16 still on. So they're
Yeah.
trying to hide me in this elevator.
Oh,
I'm
I see.
6'4". I'm 6'4". The show is still on. And I'm in the elevator with a bunch of dudes that clearly know who I am. So this girl takes off her fitted Dodger hat and puts it on my giant head. And so it's not fitting. She's like, put your head down, look in the corner. So they're having me stand in the corner. And I'm drunk. So we get off the elevator and they expect us not to talk. So all these guys are trying to say to the CBS rules. And I'm like, hey guys, and what's up? What do you guys, who's the big elephant in the room? Is it me?
Yeah.
And so they all just start talking to me and then they pull me into this casting room. So this is how my casting goes, McCrae. So they sit me in front of this camera and Jesse Tannenbaum and a couple other people from Big Brother, actually, they did joint casting kind of stuff. And she goes, all right, I'm going to roll the tape. I want you to tell me what type of person you're looking for a date. I go,
Yeah.
well, I said, I'm looking for a person that is such and such, such and such and such and such. So cuts the camera and she goes, looks at Jesse and goes, hey, what is this? Why are we casting him again?
Like, oh my gosh.
And she goes, who is this person you keep talking about? You sound gay. That's what she says to me.
Whoa.
Yeah. And so I pause and I'm just like, I look at Jesse. So
Yeah.
Jesse looks at me and goes, just keep going. But he does it next to the side of his leg,
Yeah.
and he's shaking his head. So then I sit there and I go, okay, let's just say this. I'm looking for a girl. So I say that, and then she cuts the camera again. She goes, that's
what
who I want.
Yeah.
That's what we want. And I was just like,
it's gross.
So gross. And so that's
gross.
my, every time I hear Big Brother's going on Amazing Race, one, I know she does not want that.
Yeah.
Two,
Yeah.
it's just like, it's such a force-fed thing that it's like, all right, bro. And that tells me, obviously, McCrae, what's that tell you about this next season that's coming up? What's it like knowing they switched the casting company too? And that's a lot of the reason for this cookie cutter is that we're not using Casting Inc. anymore. Shout out to Robin Cass. Hey.
Yep. The legend.
Yeah, the mom.
Yeah, exactly. You know, it was the thing that I constantly would get into it with people online, the fandom, you know, when like I was talking about, people need to have villains. There needs to be villains. The villains make the heroes shine. Or, you know, like, you can't have a hero if there's no villain. Like, that is the way that stories work. That is the way that storytelling works. So when, you know, like, people would get cast and then basically they would do something bad on, you know, Big Brother, they would say something bad, you know, and then Robin would end up taking heat from the fandom as like, how did you cast a bad person? As if like people are only like, which is the most insane thing ever, because who doesn't, you know, like, you put your best foot forward whenever you're doing an interview. Like, you're saying, yes, people are insane to think like people should figure that out. You should know if a person's bad or not, like, just from casting. Like, it's not going to happen. It just is not. And to be honest, I think like someone that says something bad is good for the show, because it's not good for people or whatever, but it's good because now I want that person to go home, you know, like it's, again, a villain. So when they basically got rid of Robin continued to cast for Big Brother Canada. Big Brother Canada had 1,000, like, when you went toe to toe back and forth each season, you know, since she left, you looked at those casts, the Big Brother Canada cast was always better. It was like incredibly so much better. You know, Robin used to cast for, I think it was Blind Date or Eliminate, or like, it's, you know, like these these precursors to reality television. Like, that was reality television in the 90s, or, you know, like late 90s or whatever it was. So like, she's been doing this forever. This is her job. Like, yeah, they got rid of her, and it's, I mean, Survivor got rid of Lynn too, you know.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yes, like, so that was maybe a couple years ago, and that's Survivor people say the same thing about that, you know, where it's just like the cast is not the same. It's bad now. It's one of those things where Big Brother used to like be ahead of the trend. They basically be like, you know, they would cast like, oh, okay, well, you know, like, this is big in the culture right now. Like, let's kind of put someone there. Now I think Big Brother's behind the trend. You know, Big Brother follows the trends instead of making them, or, you know, exposing the trends. Or Big Brother used to expose the trends, but now Big Brother just follows the trends with casting. And I think like that doesn't do them any favors, I guess. Big, but good for Robin, because I think Robin's doing way bigger, better things. Like, she cast Squid Game on Netflix.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, like, she's still doing it well, you know. Like, I think she probably, hopefully she got an upgrade. I don't know, you know, hopefully she's making more money. Nothing but love.
Remember, yeah, nothing but love for Robin. She's amazing. Robin, just so you guys know, they know exactly who they're casting.
Mm.
We go through exam tests, personality tests, background checks like crazy. They know exactly what they're casting. And I remember calling Robin into my room during the casting, the initial casting, when the LA casting. And I was so nervous because, dude, I had been arrested twice before that. But while I was playing professional baseball, had a DUI from Xanax, had a petty theft from Xanax. Yeah, dude, like where I walked in and took like 2 DVDs and walked out like an idiot when I was
Yeah.
playing with the Cardinals.
Yeah.
Didn't even remember doing those things, man.
That's rough.
Yeah, just the blackout on the Xanax. And so when Robin cast me, I was like, Robin, I have to be honest with you. You guys are going to do a background check.
Yep.
And I was so nervous. And she literally just said it like this. She said, sweetie, she's like, are you doing drugs right now? I said, no. She's like, do you have drugs in this room right now? I said, no. She goes, we know who you are. We're all about giving people, especially young people, second chances in life. And this is your second chance to go out there and be whoever you want to be. And that's a genuine conversation from Robin. And I've had those conversations, my bad. I've had those conversations post Big Brother. I've gone to her office at one point in time and I was just kicking it in her office, just talking to her. And, you know, she's that person. So yeah, shout out to Robin.
Yep.
Let's talk about Big Brother Canada, man. We have some relationships with some of those BB Can guys, Alec Beal, Peter, and
Absolutely.
some of these other guys. Yeah. Amazing people, great people. Shout out to Canada. Sorry about the tariffs.
Yeah, they don't have a show anymore. There's no more Big Brother Canada.
Yeah, I saw that. What happened? What was the big deal about that?
I don't know. I think it's just like, it's one of those things where I don't know. They like, I don't know why. I don't know. I think like basically everyone is just cutting budgets. I think that's a big part of it, of like everywhere in the world, every single industry is basically just trimming the fat. And so to me, I don't understand it, because I thought Big Brother like brought in some ratings up in Canada, but maybe not. I don't know. Like, it was canceled. It came back for a little bit and then got canceled again. When it came back, I think it was just like a lackluster product. It wasn't the same, in my opinion.
Right.
COVID kind of hurt it really bad. There was a season during COVID where they basically had to they stopped the season. They just basically was like, there's no winner, you know? And so I think that Big Brother never recovered. Big Brother Canada never recovered from that either.
Right.
That was rough. And it'd be such, like, I couldn't imagine being pulled out of the game that you'll never be able to finish. There's no winner. No one wins the money. They donated the money to like COVID research or whatever. It's just like,
okay,
well, like, let's split it up and like we can have it, you know? Like,
right.
Like, yes, it was one of those things where I felt so bad for that cast. Like, that is there's no closure, zero closure, which that I couldn't imagine. But yeah, Big Brother Canada, I loved it. It used to be so amazing, and it just fell off really. Shout out to Peter, Alec. There's a lot of good gems that came out of Big Brother Canada. A lot of people that I really like. But yeah, it's kind of a shame that it went the way it did.
Yeah, it did, and I really did feel like they had something up there.
Yep.
And I like you, man. I thought it was a hit up there. I thought they were doing some things that were actually ahead of their time. Mm-hmm. You know, that would have translated very nicely to BBUSA. I think they were the first to start, and they were adamant. Season 1 and season 2 were adamant. I don't know if you remember, about us doing a BB Can versus BBUSA.
Oh my God, the dream.
Yeah. That would have been huge. And those guys were the ones that were pushing that. And, kudos to them, man. And I know that they're on to bigger and better things up there. But it's wild, and it just shows, nothing lasts forever. So take advantage of it while you can, bro.
Absolutely. You know what's going on in Australia?
No.
Well, like Australia, this is kind of a sidetrack, but Australia Survivor is what Survivor used to be. So like it's 1,000 times of a better product. It's amazing. Survivor Australia is so good. And I don't even watch Big Brother or Survivor US anymore. Hate it. It's terrible. Survivor Australia is the show. It's so good. It's crazy. But now what they're doing is they're doing Australia versus the world. So they're bringing in, Survivor players from America are flying there, and they're going to play, half the cast is Australian, half the cast is from other survivors. And so like, to me, there is now a precedent of like, this is doable. And so to me, I'm still like, man, they should really I forgot about US versus Canada, Big Brother. It would be so good.
I don't think that Australia one that you just described, I don't think that's fair, bro. Like everybody knows, bro. They have a different outback in Australia, bro. We are not equipped for that. I don't care how much traveling you do.
You're right. These guys are crazy. Like, everyone on that show is like hardcore there to play. They break bones. They get mangled. It's crazy. But it's so hardcore.
Yeah.
And like all the Survivor US people are like, we're doing it real big. And it's just like these guys that are like, mate, like it's nuts.
Right.
It's so nuts. It's the best show. I love it.
100%, man. That's amazing, bro. I'm glad.
Yep.
I'm glad that there's good TV somewhere, and so it's what it is, bro.
Mm.
McCrae, this has been a great episode, dude. I'm so happy we were able to catch up.
Thanks for
I
having
have
me.
your number. Yeah, of course. Thank you for being on, and I know it was a rough night last night, but thanks for being on, dude. We're gonna stay in touch. I've got your number. I'm gonna make sure that Devin of 2025 is stays in touch with his people and stuff like that.
Absolutely.
Definitely in a better place in my life today.
Good to hear.
And yeah, thank you, man. And we're gonna stay in touch, brother. Let everybody know where they can follow you, keep in touch with you, keep up on everything that you're doing, bro.
I'm kind of trying to wean all social media out of my life. I basically turned off all the notifications. So it was kind of lucky that I checked the DMs, on Instagram. I was like, oh, because I don't even, yes, I'm so glad I looked because I wouldn't have saw it. But yeah, I'm on, let's see, Instagram is McCrae Ole, MCCRAEOLE. And then on Twitter, it's McCrae Chum, MCCRAECHUM. But yeah, you can just find me anywhere. I'm out there
That'll
somewhere.
boy. I love it. I'm glad you didn't give up that Twitter handle, bro.
Yep. Same one.
That's what's up, everybody. It was great catching up with this big brother, kind of alum podcast on the Healthy Mental Pod. Thank you, everybody. Watch the full episode on YouTube. This has been another great episode of the Healthy Mental Pod. McCrae, stay on for a second when we get off to let everything upload. I'm Devin Shepard. I've been your host. This is McCrae Olson. Another great pod. Everybody, take care of your health and your mental. Talk to you soon.